Welcome back, America. We're here with Chairman Jim Jordan. So, Jim Jordan, my question is this. You're going to work with the Justice Department to get to the bottom of all this lawfare crap?
We sure are. We think the American people saw it for what it was. It was politically driven, whether it was Alvin Bragg in New York, Fonnie Willis and Nathan Wade in Georgia, or Jack Smith with his ridiculous case here in D.C. And the one that Judge Cannon said was baloney, that he wasn't even appointed in a proper way consistent with our Constitution in that case in Florida. So we're going to look back at both David Weiss, because there are all kinds of concerns there. Remember, David Weiss had the sweetheart deal for Hunter Biden, and then the court said, no, you can't do this. And we had two whistleblowers come forward and tell us all the games they played in the course of that investigation. So we're going to look at that. And then with Jack Smith, I think one issue in particular, Mark, remember when one of the lawyers for Jack Smith, Jay Bratt, asked one of the lawyers representing a defendant. It was Stanley Woodward was the counsel representing defendant Walt Nata in the classified documents case. They're having a meeting, and Jay Bratt says to the defendant's lawyer, "We didn't know you were a Trump guy. We thought you were interested in this judge position." As if this sort of veiled, well, not so veiled threat to a guy who's representing a defendant, being charged by the special counsel. This is how ridiculous and political Jack Smith's whole case was. And when you read the letter that Jack Smith sent to Attorney General Garland just a few days ago before he released this ridiculous report, in a 4-page letter to the Attorney General, Jack Smith uses I, me, and my 58 times. It's all about how self-centered he is. It's all about Jack Smith and his quest to get President Trump. Again, I think the country sees through that, but we got some questions we think still need answered that we're going to pursue.
Good, because Jim Jordan, I'm not comfortable as somebody who was chief of staff at the Justice Department, as somebody who's a lawyer and has been for a long time, with lawyers like this still roaming the face of the earth and not being held to account. We've got to show the whole country that this is not supposed to be what the legal profession is about. This is not supposed to be what the justice system is about. And quite frankly, this Judge Chutkan, in the way that she changed the rules of evidence, the way that she rushed the case, the things that she said in open court and never recused herself. She is a federal judge. And it seems to me, even though your powers there are somewhat limited given separation of powers, there needs to be an examination so these judges understand you have all the independence you want. But if you put your foot on the scales of justice, going after a presidential candidate and are a rubber stamp for an unconstitutionally appointed special counsel who is backed up by an attorney general who inappropriately appointed him in the first place, we at least need to take a look at something like that, no?
Yeah. No, I agree. And never forget Jack Smith's history. He was involved. He was looking for ways to go after the, go back 10, 12, 14 years ago when the whole the IRS was going after Tea Party patriots. He was looking for ways to prosecute those people who were being abused by their government and targeted by their government. That's the history of Jack Smith. Then you have this judge. The other thing we can also do, Mark, is we can look at legislation. One bill that we're going to push, we passed it out of the committee last year. We're going to change it a little bit, pass it again, hopefully get it through and into law. But it says if you're one of these rogue state prosecutors going after federal officials, the federal official can say, I want to move that case to federal court. So you're not being a jury in Manhattan who is going after President Trump, and it's all political. And so we think that should apply for the president, for the vice president, for senators, for congressmen, because we know that this lawfare game can get played in these liberal jurisdictions with some rogue prosecutor. So we think that's a good legislative remedy to help address this lawfare as well.
Well, it is. Because the U.S. Supreme Court should have stepped in. 4 justices wanted to step in, but Roberts and Barrett threw it away. And that is a big problem that still needs to be remedied as far as I'm concerned. Well, Jim, that sounds like a good agenda. It sounds very important. And by the way, any local or state prosecutor who has stuck their toe in the federal process is subject to your subpoenas and your investigations. They can't claim, excuse me, I'm a local DA. Excuse me, I'm a state, excuse me, you stuck your big damn foot in the federal system, and if we choose to bring you in under oath to testify about what you knew and when you knew it, you will comply with that subpoena or we will hold you in criminal contempt. No?
Yeah, great point, Webb. We brought Nathan Wade in, by the way. We deposed him. He didn't answer squat. So we want to get any communications that he may have had with the federal government where we can go from there. So I couldn't agree more that those kind of things need to be examined as well.
I got to be honest with you. Some days, Jim, I think, let me give all this up and get back into the business, the legal business of chasing people like this down.
Well,
but then again, I have to pay a mortgage, so.
Yeah, well, no, you the work you do, and what you have to say, and the information you give the American people is so valuable. Look, I know you're a great lawyer, but you're also great at this. And what you've done over the last several years in defending President Trump, defending the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, standing up for our dearest and closest friend, the state of Israel, the American people appreciate all of that and more that you've done.
Well, you know what? I got to have you on more often. Thank you, Jim. God bless you, my friend. Keep up the great work.
You bet. Thank you. God bless you.